In this video we will finish the modeling of our little robot by adding here the part of the leg that are missing, and we will start to add some details, and maybe in the next video after we will manage the head. So first of all, let's add the knee here. Okay, the knee, it will just be a cylinder, I will say. This cylinder, I will say it will be 24 vertices and not a big, just a normal radius like this with one radius. Okay, and we will manage that in edit mode after. So we'll go in edit mode and in front view here, and in wireframe view I will make a rotation 90 degrees. Okay, scale, come there and put this inside this shape here with SX. Okay, to have this kind of shape. Good, with GX again, and have a look inside view if it matches the shape that we have already. So with GY we can go there and make a global scale again, and now in front view make SX again. Okay, good. So now we have this kind of shape. Nice. We would like to make here with the edge selection mode, we can just select the two loops here, and we will make a big Control B like this. Okay. Good. And we will increase this with the wheel of the mouse to have enough here to have a nice smooth surface there. We can see that it doesn't really match what we want for now, and to resolve this I will just deselect everything and go into vertex selection, select this, and with SX and GX I will have now a nice shape here, and I will make the same with B, oops, sorry, with B. Okay, SX and GX, and I will have now a nice kind of capsule shape like this. And I would like to make the same for here, the ankle. So I will just select everything, make Shift D and make P selection, so I will have two objects there. And now with this one I will just move it here and scale it up, and go inside view, GY, and we will put it in the right place. So now we have our knee, good, and we have here the ankle, good. So we can continue now our modeling by adding the foot first, because the foot will help us to have this nice line to create here the curve. So let's add the foot first. So for this I will just add here a UV sphere again, but with the right orientation. So I will go into edit mode and go into this orientation into the side view. I will make R 90 degrees to have this kind of orientation. Then I will deselect everything, and with B I will just select everything there and remove the faces. Like this I will have half of my my object there. Then I will select everything again and make RZ 90 degrees, and now I have the right orientation that I want. So I can just scale down now my object and put it here around there, and just to have the right height. For now, yeah, something like this should be not that bad. Okay, and we can see that we don't have this nice shape here. So what I will do, I will just select this loop here, and with the here proportional editing enable with the sharp value, I will just go and make an SY, sorry, and I will increase by making this enable with SY, I will increase the yeah, something around there. So maybe SY with less or with a bigger, we will see. Yeah, with a bigger it works well. Okay, somewhere around here we will have our global shape. Good. So now we have the shape of our foot. Let's have a look in front view. We will just make a GX. And again, we will select this loop, and with SX, we will have something similar now. Nice. Okay, we have the global shape of our foot. So in front view now, we will just make, without the proportional editing, we will just make an easy and an S. We will try to match it into the side view. So SY a little to have something less big. Good. And now we'll close the geometry by make ES, ES, and F. And now we have the global shape of our foot. Nice. We can see that here we have a little space. When you look at it in front view here, we have a little ray here, a little ray that helps to make the joint between here the calf and the foot. So we will use these two lines of faces here into solid view. I will just hide this one for now, and it will come back after. We will just use these two lines of faces around there. So we will just select these two lines like this. So in my case, I select 8 faces on each side, as you can see. Okay, and then just with an extrude into the Z-axis. Okay, and I will just scale this down into the Y-axis now to have this kind, or maybe we'll just keep it like this, we will see. And with SY, just a little SY, just like that. Okay, to have this nice shape. And now we have the shape of our foot. So this one will not be a sphere, it will be a foot. And it will have a modifier mirror as well, okay? As the modifier mirror for the knee and as the modifier for the ankle as well. So now we have almost everything, and we would like to model the calf now. So let's go for this, and to do this one, we will just here start from this shape. So for this, we could, for example, add a circle. Let's say I will go into wireframe view, and I would like this arch here that is interesting like that. So for add here the right shape, I will just add a big circle with quite a lot of vertices, enough to have a nice curve. So maybe 48 in that case will be good. We will have a look and see if it works after in edit mode. So I will go in edit mode here, in vertex selection mode, select everything and go inside view, make a air Y 90 degrees, and with the scale we will just see how much vertices it will take. Now if I match the shape as much as possible, we can see that we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's enough. It's good for work. And we will model with that. So let's remove everything that we don't need now. I will select everything, deselect everything, and select what I want to remove. Okay, so I want to remove all of that, and with X I remove the vertices now. So I have a line now of vertices that match more or less the shape that we have here in front view, maybe a little rotation. Okay, and we are happy with that. Nice. So to make the beginning of the shape and to go until there, what we can do, we just make an extrusion like this, and to invert the curve like so, we will just make a SZ -1. Like this, we'll make an invert curve here, and with S and G, and S again, we will have directly our shape. Okay, quite easy for that one. So let's come back in front view. Now we have everything in the middle, so not really what we want. We would like something here. So the top will be on the corner there, and this place will be on the corner here, around there. Okay, so same for the other side. We will just select everything and make an extrusion into the x-axis. Okay, and that one with B, we will select it and put it around here. And that one with B, we will select it and put it around there. So like this, normally we should have already a kind of basic shape that match the original shape of the robot. Okay, good. Now we would like to make something a little more beautiful. So to make the nice curve here, okay, so I will go into wireframe to make the nice curve here, to make the nice curve here too, and the little curve that we have there. And for this we will just add some loops. So loops by loops, we will just make Ctrl+R, add the loop here, and match it in front view and inside view. So with S and G and S again, inside view it's down, in front view almost GX, and we are good. Okay, and we make the same for another loop here maybe, or maybe two loops at once. So this one seems good, this one maybe a little more with SY like this. Okay, and G, good. And in front view we will have to make a SX on that one and a G as well. And the same for that one too, SX and GX, to match as much as possible this curve. And we will need maybe two other loops there too. Okay, and it will be the same, so maybe two at once will work with SX. Yeah, it's not that bad when GX. And let's have a look in that one. We will need the SY for this one and GY. Okay, so now we have already something far better than before, and you can see that we have the geometry we need for that side. But now I would like to add a few things into my object to match it even better. You can see that here we will need a kind of curvy shape there to match here the curve of the foot. So this curve we will need some loops to make it, and here we will need another shape that we can see a little if we look in front view here, and maybe inside view like this we can have this image. We can see here that this one goes inside that one. Okay, so here we have a kind of geometry, that kind of extrusion that comes here. So this extrusion we will make it by adding two loops here. So these two loops we just make a Ctrl+R like so. Okay, and then the first thing we will match will be here this curvy shape. Okay, so for this I will just select here the two loops outside, so this loop here, and with the proportional editing on and with the here the sharp proportional editing on, I will just make a GZ like this, but without a big proportional editing. Good, and I will make the same on the other side here with a GZ as well. Okay, to match a little more the shape. Nice. So now we have already something a little better to match here the global shape of the object. GZ a little again. Good. So now we can see that it matches a little better the shape here, and we can just now go ahead and select now this part here. Maybe I will hide this one with H and this one with H again, and I will just can see what I do here. And now I can select from here to there with the control key, like that. I will make an extrusion, easy, SZ, without the proportional editing here, SZ -1 to invert the curve, and a scale, and a little rotation maybe on the side view, and a little move, and we will have what we want, more or less. Okay, so this object now is finished. We will match a little more the other objects as well by adding the details, and it will be the next step of our modeling here. It will be smooth everything and add the details to everything. So this one has a modifier mirror first, and I will enable everything with all edge. Good. And now I have all my objects here renamed. This one is the calf, so let's rename it. It's not a circle anymore. Good. And now we have everything. So let's start with the species here, and we will add some nice modifiers to them. By this one will be a subdivision surface. We will select everything first and make a shade smooth to everyone. So we will see a little more what we have now. Okay, so this one will have a subdivision surface. This one will not have subdivision surface, but we can see here that we have kind of strange of lighting, and so this can be improved by going there into wireframe view and just select here with the edge selection mode the top of it like that here, and just make a Control B. Okay, just to have a kind of capsule like that, not with a lot of vertices, just like this, it's enough. Okay, and now into solid view it should be better. Okay, for that one we will add a modifier subdivision surface, but it makes something crazy, and we will add details there to help this. So first of all we will just make a ES a few times, ES and ES again, and maybe another one, yeah, something like that. And let's say we would like something similar here, so 1 2 3 4 EX, ES, 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 and another one, let's say. Okay, good. So now we have already something a little better. We can make these loops here a little sharper by just adding Control B, just like that. Not with a lot of vertices, 2 will be enough, just like this, to have something sharp there. And then after, you can just go ahead and select these 2 loops of here of faces, like for example this one and that one, and make an extrusion, and it will add some interesting details there. And then after, you just have to add the loops that you want to make the geometry a little more sharp. So for now everything is very smooth. You can select, you can add with Control R, for example, some, or you can just, yeah, with Control R it will make the job well. Okay, and another Control R here, and this one here we can just make a ES again to have something flat there. And now we have something more interesting than before. Good. And we will make the same for this space here. So we'll select that loop and that loop, make an extrusion. Okay, and with Control R we will add the loops that we want to add some sharpness into the geometry. Good. And this one, this loop here with the ES, you will have what you need. So nice, we did add some details there. We would like to make the same system of adding some geometry on the extremity, like doing Control B, just like that. it will just help to have a better visualization. You can see that now it looks better. This one we will add a modifier, subdivision surface, and we can add some nice details, like for example here, if you would like something with a sharper here space here, can be interesting to add this one for example, and maybe add two loops really close to each other, like for example there's two here, and we will select the two loops into vertices mode, make an extrusion and Alt S, add some sharpness to it with two loops with Control R, and now you will have nice details there. And we will make the same for the hand as well, like for example here, let's say in that space we would like two loops not far from each other, make an extrusion, Alt S, add some here, add some loops to make it more interesting, and add the modifier subdivision surface, and we will have something nice and smooth. What we can do too is just adding some sharpness to it, just to go there like this, and the same for that one, just go there, and like that it will be really close to each other, and it will have a more hard surface shape, let's say, to say it's hard surface. For the fingers, nothing crazy, we will just add a modifier subdivision surface and the job is done, okay? Here we have something that is quite interesting into the body to manage. So first of all, we can see that in front view here, if I add a modifier subdivision surface, it will just really smooth everything, and I don't want too much of this smoothness here. So I will add just some loops in the places I need. So for example here, if I want to sharp this one, I can just make Control R and add one here. And like this I will have a sharper edge here, and it will be more realistic. The same for that one here. We can just move a little with proportional editing everything, so with the smooth. We can move a little, there's vertices here to match well the geometry above, okay, above, like for example here we have this curve that is inside the other objects for now. If I want to move everything with proportional editing, I can just by select this, and with the proportional editing on, I will just can move it up a little, and maybe all the curve actually. So to select everything here, I would just make C, a big C with a circle selection, and I will just can select just like that in one click what I want. Okay, so this selection here, and with the proportional editing I will move it up a little. Okay, let's have a look in solid view. Yeah, just to have this shape available here around. Good. So let's say we are happy with that, and to crease a little more this geometry again, yeah, until here can be good. Nice. Perfect. So now I will can add just a loop here to crease a little more, to make this one more realistic again, and for that one we will keep it like this. Good. We can increase the viewport at 2 if needed. Okay, so we have the global shape that is ready here. I would like to create to make this one sharper too. So what I will do for that, I will just go with the selection like this. Okay, and just make a little Control B like so, just with two, yeah, just like that, and just here inside too. So with that loop here inside, just make a little Control B as well, and select this one to this one, and that one. Good. So you have the geometry inside that I did select. In solid view I show you this without the modifier, like this you can see my selection, okay? And with Ctrl B again, I will just make these lines a little sharper, and like that I will have a nice view like this. I could add, for example, another separation here by adding a loop with Ctrl R really close to the other, and just with a little GX without the proportional editing. With GX I will can have here this interesting selection available. So I will just can select these two loops and make an extrusion, and the same system with Alt S that we did already to go inside. And we will have something that reminds here that it's a hard surface, okay? So I don't like this curve too much. We did move it a little with the proportional editing. So I will go inside view here and manage this curve to put it back with a nice shape. Yeah, I prefer this. Okay, good. So now we have more or less what we want for the body and for the arms. So now let's add some details into the hips. And for the hips it's quite easy actually. We have here an interesting shape there. That is not bad, okay? And for this we will just use what is available there, and it will not be exactly the same shape, but it will be very similar, and maybe we'll add some little details into the side as well. So for that we will just go into solid mode, add a modifier subdivision surface again, and we will select, we will apply the mirror modifier to have everything available there, okay? And in front view we'll have a look until where we'll go this shape more or less. So it will go until there, and I will just select the faces in front view with B, just like that. There's faces here, okay? So like this I will have this selection around there. Good. So now I will make an interesting selection around that with Y. And like this I will have a line here of faces that I can use. I will just select the select outer. Like this I'm sure that I have this selection available here. And I will make an extrusion and an Alt S to go inside without the proportional editing. And again we did create this kind of sharp lines that are interesting. Maybe a little too much. Alt S to go a little outside again. Okay, good, now it's better. And I will put 2 in the viewport, and like this we have something far better, okay? What we can do here to add some interesting shapes for this, it's just, for example, add a loop there, and select now the 2 loops here, make an extrusion, Alt S, and we are done. So now we have something more interesting. We can see that we have strange artifacts because of the triangles that are here. To reduce that, what we can do is to make a Ctrl plus here, starting the selection of the center, and make a ES. And you can see that it can reduce the problem. Just be careful to have something totally flat in the end. So what I will do, I will make a SX0 and put it here around there, and ES again, and like this I should have something more or less flatter than before. Okay, and now in front view we can manage the loops to be sure that it will be with a nice curvy shape with GX, for example, okay, to have this kind of shape. And now we should have something already better, okay? So if you want to have exactly the same into the other side, you select everything, you go into the search option with the spacebar, and you search for symmetrize, and you just do a symmetrize. So it will take this one to that one by default, but if you put here the right the plus x to negative x, it will make the good here symmetrize. Good, so we have what we want here. So now let's go ahead and we can see that here first of all we have little problems of normals, and this we can just do Control N, Shift N to recalculate the normals, and it will remove the problem here. So first of all, this one is important. Then after, another little problem that we have too is that we have faces inside here. You can see that here, if I look into my faces, I can see that inside the mesh, like for example here, if it want to select it, yeah, this one here, for example, if you have a look into the solid view, it's inside the mesh. So here we don't want these faces at all, because it will create some problems after when we add a modifier, subdivision surface. You can see that it makes kind of crazy stuff here. So we don't want that. And to make it a little better, we will go into wireframe mode and be patient and select all these faces and remove everything like that. So what we can do to select it more easily, we can go into solid view, hide this object here with H, okay, remove the subdivision surface for now to not become crazy with it. And what we can do, we can select here this loop, and with Control plus we can hide the selection here, and like this we can just select the faces there, okay, that are inside that we don't want, and we will remove these faces. And like this we will not have any problem after. With Alt H we come back, and now our mesh is quite good. If I add a subdivision surface, I will have a better deformation now, okay. So what we will do now, we will just crease a little and make some of the edges sharper. So first of all, we will add 2 loops here in the center, okay, and there's 2 loops starting from here to there, and from here to there. I will have this kind of selection. I will make a scale of this to have a kind of nice curvy shape here, okay. So this kind of shape that is more interesting here. And now I would like to have something sharp here, so I will make a Control R into that space and a Control R here too, and now I will have more or less the shape that I want. And I will make the same into the other side, Control R here, Control R here, and now you can see that it's already far better than before. If you want, and this one is not mandatory, but you can add even some little details, like for example, let's say you would like to create a kind of extrusion with these faces and to make an interesting stuff there. So let's select here, for example, with the face selection mode, and with C, we can just make a selection like this. And it's just an example, but it can be nice to add sometimes. And now you have an interesting selection here. You can do a Y, for example, just to have this kind of shape, and make an extrusion inside. Okay, and you will have kind of interesting stuff. And when you will increase this, it will be a nice extrusion there. But this one is not mandatory. I will just remove it, just to show you that it's possible to add even more details if you want. I will do Alt H to give back here the knee. The knee, I will increase it a little, increase the size of it, okay, to have, yeah, this shape. It will be better. And I will just add a modifier subdivision surface for now, and that's it. This one we will add a modifier subdivision surface as well. We will crease the loops here around the corners to have a better shape, just by adding a loop there and there and there. Nice. So now we'll have something with better here definition. And we will make the same on the top as well. So for this, I will hide that one and hide that one. And to see a little what I have here, I will just have a loop there and a loop there. And like this, I have my shape that is already better. Okay, you can see that it will work well for the shape that we wanted in the beginning. So that's it for that one, nothing crazy. We can, for example, here select, make a selection for starting from here. For example, let's say that one, just to add some details. Again, this one is not mandatory at all, but let's say you will add some details like this. Okay, so you can just make a Y again, but this one we will not select outer, you will select inside, and it's this one that you will extrude. So I will just make an extrude and an Alt S, and to go inside like this. Okay, and I will have this kind of interesting shape. You can even add here a Control R to make this a little sharper and have this kind of shape like that. And this one I will keep it like this. I like it. I like it this way. Yeah, good. Now for the ankle, I add a modifier subdivision surface, nothing crazy. For the foot, I had a modifier subdivision surface again, nothing crazy again. But for that one, I will add here just a loop there to sharp the edges. Okay, and just a loop there too with Control R, one here, and Control R, one there. Nice. Again, one here. Oops, too much. And Control R, one there. Good. So like this, we'll have the rail that will be nice and smooth. So that's it for the foot, nothing crazy. Now what we would like to do is Alt H to put back everything in the right place. Maybe that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, it's okay. Nothing crazy here. We will just continue and have a look to this part. When we are in front view, I will add a modifier here and a subdivision surface. But when we are in front view and we look at it in wireframe mode, we can see that here we have little dots. I will just enable the optimal display. So we'll have 3 little dots here. We will not match exactly what we have here, but we will try to do something more or less similar. So let's say we would like to have the faces in front of that. So to do this, we will just select everything, and with RZ we will try to make this. It means to have here a quarter available in front of us. So it will make the possibility after to make this kind of selection. Or maybe I will even take this. Yeah, something like this would be good. And I will make a Y and an extrusion and an Alt S. And I put this at 2, and now I have something far better. Now I will make the same for this that we did already for the other cylinders. So I will just select into Edges Selection mode and make a Control B to just make the extremity with more geometry, and it will just make something a little more realistic for the rendering after. So that's it for adding some little details into our robot. You can see that it is already far better than before, and we have already something nice. Now I would like to add the details into my head, and this one will take a little more time, so I will do another video about it. So we'll create the eyes and everything around there. So there is a special technique to do that, and I will show you that into the next video.